Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today I've got a little gameplay with a little bird Killstreak going on here, and for some reason I joined the server. I think it's a close quarters issue where if you play on close quarters it like resets all of your vehicle setup, so I've got heat seekers on this thing and like stealth, basically all things that I don't really want equipped on this helicopter. At least I've got flares. But anyway, I joined this server to try and join the Russian team and get some RPG kills on the little birds because I'm trying to get my camo unlocks. And if any of you guys have been trying to go for those camo unlocks, you will know that it is extremely difficult. 25 claymore kills, that is a pain in the ass. 25 landmine kills or 20 landmine kills, I can't remember what it is. Again, extremely hard to do. You got to kill 5 air vehicles with RPGs. There's just tons of really hard things to do for these camo unlocks, and it's just for one camo. Seems a little excessive if you ask me. Anyway, I'm going for them, and I couldn't make it onto the Russian team, so I ended up going US, and there's this little bird just sitting on the carrier, so I was like, fine, I'll take it, I'll use it, and I ended up going on a pretty nice kill streak with it. So that's what's going on with the gameplay for this video, and I wanted to take this opportunity to kind of have a little talk with you guys. For one, you guys have been so supportive with helping me come up with new show ideas. Whenever I ask you guys for some input, like how to make this show more interesting, or new concepts, maybe to spice up old ideas. You know, you've noticed with Squad Up, we're starting to mix it up with weapons now, trying to make it a little bit more interesting, more gameplay, because we've done over 6 months of Squad Up now, so we're trying to freshen it up, especially when there's a new content coming out for Battlefield, like quite as fast as perhaps we'd like it to. But anyway, you guys have been really helpful with that, so I'd like to be more upfront about where I want to go with this channel, some things that I want to do, and something that I haven't really mentioned too much. I think I've sort of mentioned it here and there, and a lot of you guys might have missed it, but PlanetSide is going to be a future game on this channel, assuming the game isn't terrible or something. But from what I've heard from the guys who are already in sort of the pre-beta, they are saying the game's pretty awesome. I played the heck out of the first PlanetSide. I put so many hours into that game. It's very similar to Battlefield in the sense that there's tons of vehicle combat, there's aerial vehicle combat, there's transporting vehicles, there's tons of tanks, and then massive amounts of infantry. So in a lot of ways you have all the elements of Battlefield. It's just on a larger scale. Also, the game plays out a little differently because it's in the future, you're on a different planet, there's 3 factions, which is a pretty cool concept in a game, not just one team versus the other team, no red versus blue going on here, it's more like red versus blue versus green. And it's just a really fun time playing online. I'm really curious to see what a modern version of this game does, because the first PlanetSide came out quite a while ago. Let's see, 2003 is when the first PlanetSide came out, so we're coming off on almost 10 years since the first game, and I'm quite excited for the sequel. I think the graphics look great. I've got a lot of faith in the team working on this game. They've got a lot of good things to say about it. The vehicles, the graphics, everything looks really good. And they're talking about also balancing out the gameplay a little more. The first one, it got a little stale. It seemed to be like nothing but base assaults. This time they've balanced it out into much more open terrain, so you don't just fight over bases all the time. Sometimes you'll be fighting in mountains or valleys or meadows or whatever the heck. There's just tons of scenery that you're going to be fighting over, and critical points to capture and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm not going to get too much into the details of PlanetSide. I just think it's very similar to Battlefield 3, so if I was going to put any other game on this channel in addition to Battlefield 3, I think PlanetSide 2 is a great candidate. Now, if you're already a Battlefield 3 PC player, then the system requirements for PlanetSide 2, you should have a computer that's already capable of handling this game, which is really good news. And on top of that, the game is free to play. They're starting to do a lot of free-to-play MMO style games, where if they make their money on you buying in-game stuff, it's not going to be a pay-to-win style game. It's going to be more of paying for aesthetic changes. So you're not going to be able to buy any sort of advantage over other players necessarily weapon-wise, but you can get some cool aesthetic stuff, and apparently that model actually works out pretty well. They end up making more money than a subscription-based model. So it's a free-to-play MMO FPS with awesome graphics. There's not a lot to complain about, honestly. I mean, it's a free game. Now, for all you guys who watch me who play on the console, I don't think PlanetSide 2 is going to be available for the console, but a big concept of my channel and something that I try and do is make gameplay that not only applies to people who play the game, but could also be entertaining to people who don't necessarily play the game. And I get messages from a lot of people who don't play Battlefield or just don't have a computer or don't have an Xbox or something. They still like watching my videos. And that's kind of cool. I really like the concept of people being able to watch gameplay even if they don't play certain games. I watch a ton of StarCraft 2 competitive matches, but I haven't played StarCraft 2 since the game first came out. You know, I did a few runs through the campaign, tried a few multiplayer games. Wasn't quite for me. I really enjoyed watching the really good players though play competitively. So I think it's kind of cool we're entering an era where you can watch video gameplay and not necessarily play and still enjoy it. And in that regards, I think PlanetSide 2 is really going to be excellent because the spectacle of that game has always been something that's been extremely impressive because of the scale that everything is. Battlefield has got a pretty massive scale, especially on 64-player PC maps. Well, PlanetSide is the same thing, except imagine 500 players or 1,000 players in one battle. You'll look over a hilltop, you'll see 10 tanks and and legions of infantry and airplanes, and just it really is all-out warfare, and it's awesome, and it's just going to make for great videos whether or not you're playing the game. Now, something that's always been very important to me as both a gamer and a YouTuber is being an expert on the game that I play. You know, Battlefield 3. I like to think I have a pretty darn good concept of how to do most things in this game. You know, sure, I'm lacking maybe on being an excellent sniper or the best jet pilot in the world, but for the most part, I've got a pretty good scope and range and understanding of just all the guns, all the maps, how everything works out in this game. And I really do want to provide you guys with some of the best information for improving your game in Battlefield 3. And I hope to be able to do the same thing in PlanetSide 2. My channel isn't going to evolve into like a whole bunch of different games. I would like to keep it down to a very minimum amount of games and be able to be an expert at all those games. That way, if you're interested in Battlefield or PlanetSide, you should still be able to come to my channel and get reviews on all the weapons, learn strategies, tactics, and just interesting tips and tricks. So why am I telling you guys now about the whole PlanetSide thing coming up? Because I'm not going to be able to post footage from it, at least until probably the open beta. I'm not sure what the NDA is on the PlanetSide beta, but I assume the open beta will be available to post footage on YouTube since anybody will be able to join it. But I'm telling you guys because, one, I'm trying to gauge your reactions. You know, everybody here is a Battlefield 3 player. I don't want to force you into content that you don't want to watch. I think PlanetSide 2 is going to be awesome, but I'm sure there's a few of you guys out there who are totally uninterested in PlanetSide 2. And I'd really like to hear what you think about me merging my channel, not merging my channel, but evolving my channel into a Battlefield and PlanetSide channel. You guys have had a lot of good ideas in the past, a lot of ideas that I've taken or borrowed or evolved upon to create my shows, make them better, get rid of shows that people aren't liking quite as much, and just making my channel more efficient and more entertaining for everyone. So I really do value everybody's opinion here. And oh my god, this is a long scout helicopter run. I actually didn't realize quite how many minutes this thing went before I started talking over it. It's not been the best flying in the world by any means. You know, I've been missing a lot of my shots, but luckily my opponents have been missing a lot of their shots too. And god, there's so many RPGs that have been flying past me this round, and Stingers, and you name it, it's been shooting at me. But I really do miss flying the scout. At least it's something I haven't done a video of in a while, and it's just funny, the first time I got into one and was like, oh, I'm gonna fly this, you know, I had this crazy kill streak and I wasn't even going for the kill streak in the first place, you know. And you guys are gonna enjoy the end of this video, actually. It's pretty funny, but I think that guy I'm shooting at right now is Prules, and he joined on me, and he had like the sole intention of hitting me with an RPG for quite a while, so we're sort of dueling a bit, and I know he's got my number. He's trying to take me out. I'm sure he would just love to get a level cap kill with an RPG. And yes, that is some crazy reckless flying right there. I'm surprised he didn't shoot me out with his carbine, but I think most of the engineers in this map kind of have the same idea that I have, which is join the Russian team and shoot RPGs at the scout helicopters for your air kills for the camo unlock for the new Scar camo or whatever. And it's funny, and I haven't really weighed in on this yet, but the assignments for getting new gun unlocks, I think, really do instigate bad gameplay. You know, they're like 25 claymore kills or 20 AT mine kills, and people are throwing AT mines on their jeeps and doing all this jihading stuff, or you're just running around with your RPG pointing it up at the sky, not noticing any infantry because you're just going for ground targets, or you're chucking down tons of claymores everywhere and not actually shooting guys because you want them to run into your claymores. It's absolutely instigating really bad gameplay, and I gotta say, I think Call of Duty had a much better setup for unlocking weapon camos, where you just had to get a certain amount of kills with a gun to unlock the higher level camo. And some camos would represent like, 1,000 kills or more kills with this gun. And so if you saw somebody running around with the blue tiger stripe camo or whatever the heck they were, then you would know that they've killed this many people with it. And I thought that was a much better method, because then you could actually just play with the gun. You could do whatever it took to get good, to kill more people using that weapon. You can still focus on tactics, because killing infantry is a pretty integral part of any game, so you can still play well, still be a team player, and still get your camo unlocks. But I think DICE has kind of missed the point here with some of their assignments and weapon unlocks, and they're really getting people to play like douchebags. You know, all those C4 kills. I've never seen so many freaking jihading jeeps trying to get vehicle C4 kills. You know, that's exactly how everybody's going to try and get 25 vehicle kills with C4. They're going to strap it on a jeep and go ram it into a tank, not necessarily helping out their team. They'll probably die like 6 times trying to get one vehicle kill, but that's basically what people are forced into doing now if they want to do it quickly, or they can wait like 4 months until they get it just happenstance by playing every day, and every now and then you'll see 4 vehicle, and what do you know, you've done it 25 times and it's been months and months and months. Nobody's gonna wait that long. People want to actually go for their camos, or they're just totally uninterested. So again, I think DICE could maybe think about the assignments that they're putting into the game and how that's going to change the gameplay. You know, when the weapon unlocks came out and it was like, oh, you need this many 320 kills. Well, everybody was just running 320 primary for like a few days until they all got their new weapon unlocks. And yes, I am still flying this little bird long enough to go completely off topic and not even talk about what I was going to talk about with this video, which is all that PlanetSide YouTube stuff. But I think I covered it for the most part. Now I'm just mopping up people everywhere. And like I said, the things equipped on this chopper were changed because of that stupid close quarters bug, where if you play close quarters too much or something, it messes up all your vehicle settings in normal Battlefield, I guess. It's a wonderful bug. I really love coming into a game and now having the right stuff equipped, and yeah, apparently you can just bang into like concrete pillars and you're fine. But normally I would be running laser designator. There's Prules. I got Prules. I'd normally be running laser designator, guided rocket, and flares, but instead I'm running anti-air rockets, flares, and stealth. The reason why I like laser designator and guided rocket is, one, you have a weapon that can really take down armored vehicles pretty well, assuming they're not using smoke, and it's also a really good backup for taking down other scout helicopters, although machine guns seem to work out just fine right there, or minigun, whatever you want to call it. So this video is almost to an end. I don't want to ruin how I get taken out here, but I do end up going a 36 kill streak before the end. And in terms of wrapping up the YouTube discussion and adding PlanetSide to my channel, I would love to hear your comments in the comments section. Please let me know what you think about adding PlanetSide, integrating it more and more to my channel, and maybe having it be a 50% planetside, 50% battlefield. And wait for it, what's this? Oh, I got kicked by an admin for having a suspicious kill-death ratio of 38-1. What a way to end an awesome little bird kill streak. If you guys enjoyed the video, please rate it up, and I'll see you guys next time. This is LevelCap signing off.